Okay.
Bravo! Woo! Bravo! Beautiful. That's beautiful. What is it?
There's another camera behind you. Ladies and gentlemen, Pegarty Long, reading her sister Philomen Long, the poet laureate of Venice. Show your long! Come on, give it up!
I always keep her with me. She's in my dreams and pictures all over the place. So anyway, I'm so happy to be here. I thank UCLA, my alma mater, and Philomen's also for having this. And I'm so happy that Frankie T. Rios is here.
Yes.
What?
I said yes.
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 Yes!
Yes. Yes.
The last surviving beat of the beats of Venice. And my first little benediction, like you had, would be to Venice. The land that we're sitting on right now that has drawn so many artists and poets. And this is written by Philomen, and it's on the wall in Venice, poetry walls. Venice, holy ground, stained with the blood of poets. City which lies beneath the breasts of birds, guarded by cats. Behind every corner, the muse, angel of surprise. Poems out of pavement cracks. So this actually Philomen read in this very spot with David Amaron, who was useful accompaniment to Jack Kerouac, and actually it's on YouTube. I think it's an absolutely beautiful poem. Genesis. Before the beginning, alone, no hand cutting the night, no lips opening in the velvet and speechless black. Alone, always alone, forever young. The beginningless, the luminous silence. Before the water longed to comb through the sands, the wind to play with the grass. The word. Now I'm going to read. Philomen was friend, companion to Stuart Z. Perkoff, who, and she was with him at his death. And I'm going to read the poem she wrote. And Stuart Z. Perkoff, we all kind of know, right? And the poem she wrote of that experience when he left this life. Eulogy for Stuart Z. Perkoff. The poet lay like a fallen tree, the roots exposed that ate the earth in search of vision. A holy greed for hymns to feed the mouth of hungry heaven. He lay with bent limbs and threw his fist at the enclosing sky, and I, within the closing room, knelt in the center of his prayer. Within its coral, its refusal, and heard the waves of poems in his drowning breath, and heard his final poem pressed against his throat, awaiting his surrender to his muse. Of she who, white as breathing, blew windy poems through his open hands. Because, Death, you are so successful, I'll let you write this poem. Madam, sir, whichever you prefer, take up this pen. Try writing a poem, a word, anything. Aha, I thought as much. Nothing could come from a face so smug. Death does get us all anyway, but this is, I write as the muse requires for Frank T. Rios, Stuart T. Perkoff, and Tony Shabella, all of whom we're going to be reading today. I step inside the poem. I can barely see in the mirror, which is her sky. Through its cracks, let me say this carefully, I see her poets, their diamond eyes, their lips of black velvet. But they are not enough to save the world from falling. Nevertheless, she exacts yet another death. Naked, they lie face down before a greater silence, a greater blackness. I cry out to them, but they do not hear my wailing, nor do I. I speak to myself with an alphabet that flows thick like blood at the edge of darkness. I no longer know what I had lost. Then, finally, the poem's agony of light. These last ones are going to be to Philomen's husband and love of her life, whatever, married 18 years, lived the bohemian life in Venice, California, dedicated poverty, and which I understand from what Philomen told me and what they've written, excellent sex life. John Thomas, critical mass, no larger than a few miles in diameter, and possibly only 10,000 years old. Even his early poems could drive a locomotive.
Oh.
He was big and a big poet too. And this is where, this was written after John died at Cold Ellison, which is in Venice. You know, it's a typical Venice place for artists to live, actually. It used to be hotels, and now there are all these little small rooms, and artists would find them for cheap rent. Cold Ellison 9, unfinished poem excerpt. The poems are sacrament. The muse is here. Did I write here with an A? I mean, here. John and I live, both in flesh, now one spirit, one half spirit, half flesh, soon to be spirit. Our poems, our words, flesh into these bricks wherever we go, before whatever words or silences, always hear the Ellison. Tenants, never number 31, just called our apartment where the poets lived. Lately, I have come to think of our room as a tabernacle. So many of our poems written here. You on the bed, lying on the left side, propped up by left elbow, your writer's elbow. Pen over yellow pad. I, a few feet away, in rocking chair you got for me, looking at the sea and beyond the sea, just a few feet away. The space between us, I always felt the length of the muse. Our poems into this red brick, and the Ellison. And this is the last one I've read, but it's what's happening now. Philomen wrote it before it happened. The Ghosts of Venice West. I would say that would be, not yet, Frankie.
You just made his day.
The Ghosts of Venice West. They are already ghosts, John and Philomen, as they pass along the boardwalk. This highway of poetry and death, where ghosts and poets overlap. As they pass the goals, ghosting above their shadows. Everything's haunting everything. Already ghosts, John and Philomen, under the ghost lamp posts of Venice West. Their cadence, the breath of sleep at west, lost at the edge of America. Already ghost, and each poem already a farewell. Everything's haunting everything. The sea is the ghost of the world.
Wow.